Fudge Chocolates and Ice Cream in downtown Annapolis. We're an old-fashioned sweet shop. We don't sell chocolates, fudge, and ice cream here. We sell enjoyment. So if you're coming downtown to have a good time, this is a place to come. So
and everybody's doing everything fresh.
That's right. We make a lot of the stuff right here in the store. Most of the stuff that is made either in our kitchen here or in our other kitchen off-site. So everything is made fresh and it's all very good. So, high top of the morning.
Okay, that's good. We might come back for more in depth tomorrow.
Sounds good. Absolutely. What is it? Yeah. It's fudge. Fudge, yes sir. It's like a sugary chocolate.
Yeah, I know.
That's 3:45.
And we're not till 5, right?
2 slices, then the third slice is free.
Well, that's a lot of work. That goes to food.
Well, guess I'm out of it now today. Probably not pick up tomorrow, more than that. I'm out of it like That's all you said. The new one.
There's the water.
Sailing's the sailing capital of the country, and we have an international reputation. And so, and this industry is very important to the bond rating that the city continues to get AA+ from our bonders when we go out to borrow money. And so it is really a very, very important industry. But 50 years ago, there wasn't much here. It was not, it was a waterman's community. That is true. But in terms of sailing, in terms of both recreational and professional, it didn't exist. A man by the name of Arnie Gay, who I consider really the father of the maritime industry as we have it today, came to town with a broken forgotten car, $7 in his pocket after World War II, saw the creeks and a couple of broken down docks and rats, as he will tell you, said to me in his oral history. And so this is a great place to be. Nobody has even sailed out in the ocean, he had. And so that was the beginning of an industry that you see today. So we have thousands and thousands of boats that are sailboats that are registered here, and we have very, very professional people who, professional meaning they sail for money around the world on dangerous around the world cruises. It's competition as well as other competition, and as well as in the Olympic sports. This country for people who were not people of wealth to build and maintain their homes. So a number of these homes actually date back to the late 1800s. We're going to go across the creek, across Spot Creek, and this is an historical little creek.
Hi, my name is Peggy Jocelyn. I work here at Plot du Jour in Annapolis. We're located on 220 Main Street in Annapolis, Maryland. We sell European linens, antiques, and ceramics, along with some other things by local artists and a few things that are here on consignment. We have a resident bird named Bree, and his claim to fame is that he sings the theme song to the Andy Griffith Show. But you have to be able to whistle and get him a little bit started, and sometimes he's not in the mood, so that's not always a for sure thing. Our ceramics here are mainly from Italy and France, and we have, I think I said that, didn't I? Mm-hmm. We also have tablecloths, beautiful tablecloths and placemats, as well as candles and soaps from France, mainly, and pictures and postcards and a lot of good fun stuff. Some dried flower arrangements and glassware, and hope you'll come down and see us real soon. Bye-bye.
Oh.
As it is at present.
Mm-hmm. How it got started, how long it's been here. And I got a phone number on the back that I need.
So you want to know, you want to know what the school was before it was this school? Because I know it's been here about 50 years.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to know what's before it.
Okay.
We're trying to, you know,
usually have music playing in the store, but the CD player's broken. I told her that. I said, it'd be nice to have a... Am I going to be standing still or walking around? This evening, 6 or 6:30, something like that. Okay. Bree is our resident bird. He's a cockatiel. He's been here just about as long as the store's been open, about 12 years or so. And he actually was a rescue. He flew into the backyard of the lady that owns the store, Judith Hartman, and she has another cockatiel at home and also a cat. So she brought this one here because the cat didn't get along with the bird and the other bird didn't get along with the bird. So the bird, Bree, is now here and kind of a permanent fixture here at the store and brings a lot of people back with their children to meet the bird and listen to his songs. Can you sing it? Come on. Very good. Yes. A born showman, don't you think?
Okay, thank you.
You're good.
See, there's a window, it's hard to see. Get a rough idea though. Kind of boutique-y. Alright, you just...
Because I got everything.
And I'll do that. And it's long shot already?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is a pretty interesting shot down the whole street. Except that this...
part of Baker Johnson's program, and we developed a plan for the city, one that would help us ensure that the city was park-like in the way it felt, in the way it looked. That was back in the 1960s. And so there were a number of things that I did that I helped to initiate when I was then the First Lady of the city. And those are things like low street and parks that, you know, our streets went down to the water. And they were therefore public property, but they were not usable. But now we have 19, 20 street end parks around The city and the University of Maryland 40 years ago helped us design some of them. Several of them have been redesigned to meet the standards, environmental standards for today. But that was an initiative as well as tree planting that we started way back in the 1960s. When I became an alderman in the 1980s, I passed legislation that protected our tree canopy. That was more than 20 years ago, and as a result of that, we have a 42% urban tree canopy, which is the highest in the state. Not sure we would have had that if we hadn't committed to protect our tree canopy by replacement trees. We plant about 1,000 trees a year now, little, and grow up, and be big and furnish more. I had also been very active in participating with the recreation board, and so we did a plan, it's called Parks and Paths for People plan, which won a national award for the process in terms of its development. It had to do with access to small areas where people could play, park-like places, trail system that went around the city, and that plan has been implemented, and they're now on part 2. We also instituted more than 20 years ago a conservancy. We're the only public urban land trust in the country. There were a couple in, I think, Rhode Island, but I don't think they're functioning anymore. And so through that process, we have a conservancy board, and we've been able to retain over 200 acres of parcels, small and large, but nevertheless, that have kept things open. And those were done, 20 years ago. We have a greenscape program, which is a volunteer program in which 1,000 people participate, going on 20 years. And it's not about cleaning up, which a lot of the Earth Day programs are. It's about planting. It's about planting trees, it's about planting gardens. Landscape architects are available to help people design their things in their neighborhoods, should they so choose. And so we have 2 times. The basic one is the 3rd Saturday in May, Greenscape Day. The city, originally it was all volunteer, meaning volunteer dollars. You had to apply to the Chesapeake Bay Trust or other places to get your dollars. Now we match $300 with the Deadwood Community Association. There are usually 70 projects that are done, and then in the fall we buy lots of daffodil bulbs. Some tulips, squirrels like tulips, and you have to be careful when you plant them, and they are planted in the fall around the city, and so each year we expand what is a garden-like park to the city. The signers of the Declaration of Independence from Annapolis are over here. Their homes are still in the city. They are still used, and on the back table there is a brochure or Declaration of Independence that talks about our signers. When you came in, I gave you a gift, which really is our flag, and it is, congratulations, you're an ambassador for your capital city. This is your capital city in the state. It represents Queen Anne's crown. Queen Anne was the monarch in England in 1708, and when the city was given its royal charter, and it represents a Scottish list on Tudor rose, which were, in fact, the symbols of the 2 families that made up the monarchy at that particular time. So.
What's this church called?
Hopping Tom is a marionette, and that's a type of puppet. Now, what is a marionette? We'll take a look. It's a puppet on strings. And you can see those strings go to his arms, and to his head, and to his back. And when you pull the strings, or make them go in special ways, it makes him move. And that's why he's called a marionette. There's other types of puppets that go on your hand, and some on your fingers. But this is a very old style of puppet that's, at least 300 years old. And it's worked just as you see with my hand on the wooden pegs, and the pegs on the strings, and the strings on the puppet. And that's how you make a marionette. You can make your own marionette at home too, actually. They're quite simple. Perhaps we'll even have a chance to show you how.